guys, welcome back to another match reaction for the game between Arsenal and Brentford. Yes, I gave a quick reaction yesterday about the game, and I still feel the same way I felt yesterday, because like looking at the game again, watching Chelsea lose, that was a very big and important point for Arsenal. To me, I felt like that point for that 3 points yesterday meant a lot, because first of all, Man City had already had a hard-fought victory against Fulham, and you don't want to give them any confidence going to the weekend by dropping points against team like Brentford. And we did what we needed to do, despite how difficult that game turned out to be at the end. Not that we actually struggled, like not that Brentford were actually like peppering our goal, like having series of chances, but it felt like after that goal the game became a bit nervy, and Brentford had a plan of making us play the way they want us to play, by making the game a bit scrappy. So, and they succeeded in making that game a bit scrappy. But in the first half, they were trying to do that. There were spells in that first half whereby they were actually succeeding in trying to make the game a bit scrappy by going with the long balls. They were winning all the 50-50 draws. It was, the first half was a bit like here and there. There was one part of the first half where we had loads of the possession, but if you look at the game physically with open eyes, you know that this game is actually not easy as the stats is actually saying, because I don't think we had a grip of that game in that first half. Especially the midfield battle was a bit here and there. Although we started the game like on fire, actually, like we were actually giving it to them. The fans were up for it, the players were actually up for it, and Noni Madueke was on fire, beating his defender. I think that guy, the left back for Brentford, Henry, he was actually beating him left, right, center. But the only problem I have with Noni Madueke is Noni Madueke needs to improve on his end product. For me, Noni Madueke has to improve on his end product. He needs to go learn how to finish. He reminds me of Noni Madueke actually reminds me of Dembele. The old Dembele of Barcelona, where he if he catches you 1v1, he kills you. But when it comes to the end product, his end product is very bad. He reminds me of that kind of player. They have a similar type of attribute whereby they know how to dribble their the way out of the different situation. They know how to beat their man 1v1. They know if they catch any defender 1v1 7 times, I can guarantee you they will beat that defender 6 times. That's Noni Madueke and Christian Dembele of Barcelona. I think even when he just came to PSG, it was like that. I think the coach that actually changed the way he was actually playing, his finishing, was Christian Enrique. So I feel like Noni Madueke needs to upgrade, or he needs to improve on his end product. That's the only one part of his game that is actually frustrating. Even the corner kicks he was taking yesterday was actually very frustrating. He wasn't beating the first man. The delivery was very poor. I don't know why Martin Odegaard didn't take one of them as well, but maybe because of his trying to recover. I don't want to stress his muscle and all that. And I think Ben White started his game for the first half. The first time actually they crossed the assist for Merino's goal. Like that was a top class assist from Ben White. That's the Ben White we used to know. That's the Ben White of old that we know. He's actually one of those guys that we need him to be back 100% fit, because it's gonna be a very long season with the amount of injuries we're having. And it was actually good to see him at his best yesterday, and he was actually voted one man of the match, even if for me he wasn't the man of the match. But I'll go into that later on. But well, it was actually good seeing Ben White back in action, and it was actually good seeing him playing very well yesterday. He had the assist, the pull-out was there. There were some times where he was a bit one of his pull-out wasn't actually very good, but that one he had the pinpoint. And Merino, that leads me into Merino scoring the first goal. I think he scored that goal in around the 19 minute mark in the first half, and I felt like, oh, we scored the goal early, I think we're gonna go kill these people. But it wasn't the case, because they had other plans for us. Brentford had other plans for Arsenal, and it was actually difficult. And going into Merino is becoming like, I don't even know what to say about Merino again. I think I've said so much about him So I think someone on AFTV actually said that Merino is that kind of player whereby every title winning team needs in their team. It reminds me of Jota, you know, Diego Jota. May so rest in perfect peace. He used to be that clutch player for Liverpool when they went on to win the league last season. He comes in when the games are very tough, when they've got a lot of injury. He comes in, it's like that squad player that comes in and does him. You see Merino and Trossard, they're like that kind of mode whereby they are one of the best finishers at the team. They know how to score, they know when to score, they know, like, when it comes to their shot to goal ratio, like their output is very, very high. Their output is very, very high. And I just like the way he's actually like doing the business. He's not a striker, but he's from the beginning of when he's been called on to be a striker, he's actually taking that role. But he's actually taking that role up, and he's actually done very, very well. Very, very well. He's better than so many strikers in the world right now. I'm going to tell you that for free. Yeah, so after that goal, I felt like, okay, yes, the floodgates is going to open. Like, we've actually opened them up and they're going to come out. We're going to kill them. But it wasn't the case. Brentford had that plan. They wanted us to play the way they wanted, and they succeeded in spells in that first half. And I felt, okay, to add more salt to our injury, what's it called? Christian Mosquera went down injured. It's not looking like a must now. Every match day, we must have one player go down injured. At least one player go down injured. Unfortunately, we had two yesterday. Declan Rice with the what I heard from Mikel Arteta. I hope it's not what I'm thinking. I hope it's not a serious injury. I hope it's something just like a precautionary measure. That maybe because he just felt something, they just took him off. Not that it's something because we need him for that Villa game. So yeah, after Mosquera got injured, we brought in Timber, and Timber came into the game and he was very, very good. Like he did what he needed to do. Like that will actually remind that will actually remind everyone that is thinking that Arsenal is actually getting injured in the defense, that they've forgotten that everybody playing at the back line for Arsenal are all defenders. The right back, the left back, the centre backs, they're all defenders. So that's the advantage of having your left back and your right back as a centre defender, because they can slot into the defense and fit in very, very well. So the Timber came in to the first. It came in after Mosquera got injured, settled the game very well, paired very well with Piero Incapié, who I thought was my man of the match because of the way he played yesterday. Like, he was actually very, very solid defensively yesterday. His defensive performance yesterday was immaculate. He was very good. He was very, very good at yesterday. I saw so many good things from him. Like, he wins all his duels. He's going forward. He knows how to ping the pass. He knows the short pass long. He knows when to pass long. He knows when to go short. He knows when to drive forward with the ball as well, to create space in the midfield as well. He was very, very good for me. To me, he was my man of the match. He worked very, very hard. He worked very, very hard yesterday. And David Raya, not to forget what happened. After we went 1-0 up, I think maybe like 10 minutes after, Brentford had a corner where they almost scored from, and that save from David Raya, that reflex save from David Raya, wow. Although people will actually say it's a straight header, but it's difficult to catch a headed to catch a header like that. It's very, very difficult to catch a header like that, and he actually did that very well. His reflex was very, very good, and that's one thing about David Raya. Like, he's got a very, very good reflex. He's made so many reflex saves for Arsenal so far this season. I think he's the goalkeeper that has the highest clean sheet this season, and it's been very, very good since we signed him. He's been very, very important to us. He's been very, very, very important for the club. And after that first half, we felt, okay, we'll go into the second half. We'll take advantage of the second half, we dominate the possession, and maybe kill the game off in the second half. But it wasn't the case. Mikel Arteta didn't make any substitution. I think there was no substitution at the beginning of the second half, and we started moving the ball. Like, Brentford started making the game a bit chaotic. They made it as chaotic as possible. We couldn't have a foothold of that game. Like, we're not winning our second balls. We're the 50-50. We're losing all the 50-50s and all that. But the only good thing I like was we kept our shape, despite all the attempt from Brentford to make the game a bit scrappy for them to be able to take advantage of us. And I felt like that Mosquera injury actually affected the stability of the team as well. So when I think that was why we weren't winning the 50-50s. Like the game became a bit more cautious, and again nerves started to build into that game. Nerves started to build in, and for me, I felt like that was the turning point for that game. Was they decided to make those changes. Brentford decided to change the game for us. Because then we had to bring in Eze, we brought in Saka, we removed them, we took off Donny Madueke, and we took off who again, Gabriel Martinez. I think those substitutions actually came in to settle the game. I think if you notice, after those guys came in, the game became a bit settled. We started dominating the ball again, dominating the play, moving the ball very well, crisp passing and all that. I think they had some few crosses, corners. I think they were having consecutive corners that actually kept me a bit more tense, because I felt like you can't be giving them corners upon corners upon corners. One of them might go in if you're not careful, and luckily for us, none of them went in. We were able to deal with them properly. We dealt with all those corners very, very well. We really dealt with those corners very, very well. And towards the end of the game, I think the 80th minutes, for me, I felt like Arteta should have taken off Declan Rice off earlier. There was one time in the 60th minute where he was actually gassing, holding his knee, and he was actually showing signs of, I think he was limping a bit in around that 60th minute. I felt Arteta should have taken him off, but he decided that was the only criticism of Mikel Arteta in that game for me. I felt I should have taken off Declan Rice off earlier, but he didn't do that. But in the 80th minute, Declan Rice had to go down because I think he felt something in his calf. So I think like maybe somebody kicked him in his calf, or he felt something. I can't remember what happened there, and they had to take him. And that's when we had to bring in Victor Gyökeres, which I felt like should have come in much more earlier in that game. They would have done what he did in that 80th minute. He would have done it earlier by maybe saving Declan Rice from not getting that knock or injury that he had in that game. And when Gyökeres came in, we started creating more chances. Now the white players started having a lot of joy, because the defense now I think the defenders of Brentford had to now concentrate on Gyökeres. So they were now having two men on Gyökeres, then freeing wingers, which we enjoyed towards the end of the game. For me, that's when we started having more chances, shots on goals. There was one chance that I felt like, I don't know how Mikel Merino missed that chance, and Saka had that same chance. Chances like that, you now start having doubts. Are you sure going to win this game? Are you sure we're going to get over the line? But at the end of the day, we did get over the line. We stood firm. Like we had that chance in the end where Saka, we had them on the break, on the counter, and the pass from Mikel Merino to free up Saka. And I think he was a bit fortunate in that chance, because the shot from Saka, where he had to cut that defender backward and strike the ball, shot on goal. But the keeper didn't have a strong hand on that ball. That's why the ball flapped into the net. And it was a good win for us at the end of the day. That 3 points was very, very vital for us now. It gives us a lot of buffer. Even if we lose or draw against Aston Villa, we still have a lot of buffer, like a 3-point gap in there, which is very, very important to me. We needed to win that game yesterday. If we have dropped points yesterday, maybe like we drew that game yesterday, Man City would have been going to that. Now we'll be going to that Aston Villa game like 100% must win for us, because if we don't win against Aston Villa, then Man City would then be, or we lose against Aston Villa, which can happen, because we're going to play against Villa. Man City too lost against Villa, but we're a different team this season. I think if we want to win this league this season, games like Villa are games that we should be winning. I will talk more about the Villa game when I'm giving my match preview later on today. But for me, a big point for Arsenal, big 3 points for Arsenal, very vital win for Arsenal that actually gives us a lot of buffer being in the top of the league, and making Man City and reducing the confidence of Man City going forward, because now they still got pressure to win every game. Man City now they have less. They have less room for error now. They can't lose any game now. Chelsea, despite going back to Chelsea, I saw most of their fans yesterday. I saw the result yesterday, 3-1. They lost to Leeds. So many of their fans were actually jubilating a draw against Arsenal, where they should be worried that that's an opportunity for them to have won Arsenal, because of that red card they had actually killed what they should have done. But now they were celebrating a draw. Like the way I was seeing so many things on social media, like so many praise of Chelsea. They were praising Chelsea. Like that's why they are the best team in the world. They are the world champions and all that. And Reece James is better than he's not better than Timber again now. He's better than Declan Rice and all that. Every opportunity just to get at Arsenal. And I've just seen so many things. That, guys, calm down. It's Chelsea. It's not Chelsea of Roman Abramovich. That's the best Chelsea you've ever had in your life. That's the best Chelsea you've ever had, because he had money and he had the wisdom to buy everything. He was smart about what he did. But the owner you have is not smart. He's a businessman. It's different. He doesn't see you as, he doesn't want you to win the league. He doesn't care about the league. He can win the odd cups here and there, but he can't go on to win the league because he doesn't care about it. He's a businessman. So I'll just say that you just need to calm down, Chelsea fans. Now you've been brought back to earth now. 9 points clear of Arsenal. Arsenal is now 9 points clear of Chelsea now. Just one more draw, one more loss, you're out of the title race. To me, Chelsea is already out of the title race after that loss against Leeds. You shouldn't be talking about title race. You shouldn't be talking. Leave the fight for the big men. Let them fight their fight. Big men fight. Don't get involved in fight between two big men. Don't fight. When two elephants are fighting, what suffers? The grass. And you are the grass now. You suffered for it now. Don't put your mouth where it doesn't concern you. Just mind your business, Chelsea fans. Yes, and that's my match preview for the game between Arsenal and Brentford. What a very good win. That was a very, very good win for Arsenal. A vital 3 points. And on to the next one. Come on, you guys.